All right, let's settle down and let's get our guest speaker up here. And I love his trainings because he goes in the back office and shows a lot of people in the back office what they need to understand. Folks, there's so much in your back office, but take some time to study it. And he hails from Summersville, South Carolina. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, can we give a warm welcome to Regional Director, the one and only Mr. Curtis Evans.
Hello, and we're really happy to be here. We're really happy to be able to spend some time with you today. Um, we got a lot of things going on this planet as we speak. A lot of us got our hands in a lot of different things. So, what I wanted to do today was talk to you about one of the most, one of the biggest businesses, one of the best businesses that a person can get in. One of the one that's probably the most misunderstood businesses is multi-level marketing. It is so strange that people grapple with the concept. And first, we need to understand just the concept. What is the concept of what we're doing? We're sharing some information. We're really not sales. And most people, the reason they look at something and stop is because they believe that they aren't very good salespeople. Okay. And so, really, quite honestly, you'll struggle if you're trying to learn that part of our business because most of our time is spent sharing ideas with people. Now, let's talk about people for a minute, the people that you're talking to. When you put your list together and you put a big list together, not 5 or 6 people, not 10 or 20, but put a really big list, probably 100, 200 people, that many people. But when you put that list together, the biggest problem that most of us have with that list is we prejudge. We prejudge. Our compensation plan is not designed for you to prejudge. You're really going around the compensation plan when you start prejudging. The compensation plan is designed for you to talk to people. And that's what Mr. Thomas is just talking to you about anyway. Is talking to people, but you won't talk to people if you prejudge it. Let me give you an example. If you got somebody that is just down and out, I mean, just in trouble, they don't have any money, they don't have any whatever. You may prejudge them and say, "Oh, they'll never be good at this." Maybe they don't read well, they don't write well. You may say you prejudge them. It's prejudice. You prejudge. Conversely, you may have a cousin, or uncle, a brother, sister, somebody you know very well that owns a very, very big business and you prejudge them because they're so busy. I was flying here, doing that, got a lot going on. Or you may see someone with a very nice house, a very, very nice house in an exclusive neighborhood. And you may say, they wouldn't be interested in that. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be interested in it because when you get a few customers, you get $100. You may in your back of your mind prejudge it. And so really the people on your list, that 400 or 500 or 600 people on your list, you may talk to 15 or 20 people. And this is what I hear over and over and over again. I've talked to everybody I know. People, they and I tried that. And what they mean is, I talked to everybody that I thought would be interested that may be interested in the business. So you talk to 10 or 15 people, and they said no, and that was that. So what I want us to do is to try to forget the prejudging and make the phone call. Okay, make the phone call, and those are people that you know. Okay, now I'm talking about people you're prejudging people that you know. And the compensation plan is really designed, they know that you're going to work through people to get to a leader because your job in this business is to find 5 or 6 leaders in 5 or 6 different groups, different legs. So let's say you're not going to find 6 people and put them in the business. They sign up and get into the business, and then you walk away because you're wealthy now. You got all 5 or 6 legs built or put together. No, what you want to do is work with those people. You want to see them as a doorway. Okay, they open the door to the people that they know. Now, when you sign them up, guess what? What are they going to do? They're going to prejudge. When you ask them to put their list together, they're going to be deciding who they think will be good at this and who they want. And really, when a person comes and takes a look at this business, it has very little to do with what you showing them the business or anything else. It has more to do with timing on their side. If they're really busy, if the boss just gave them a big increase, a big raise, they got a lot of money in their pocket, just came off a really good vacation, life is good, and you ask them, are you open to making any extra money, or would you be interested in looking at something that's going to do a lot, make a lot of money for you? they may tell you no. They may be in a very happy place, okay? And so that's why there's a word in our business called the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? Because the timing is the problem. It's just a timing issue, that's all. And so you never got a chance to show them the comp plan. They might have cut you off short. Just tell me what you got. You know, they might have cut you off short because right now everything is going really well for them. The bosses gave them an increase. They just got a promotion. They got a shirt and tie on now. They got, you know, I'm not talking about a lot of money. They might have $50 in their pocket, $100 in their pocket, $200. They feel like they're on top of the world. And you never got a chance to do a presentation for them because they stop you and say, no, I'm good. I tried something like that before. I'm okay. Thanks for calling me though. So what you have to do is say, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a call in 6 months and let you know how I'm doing. I'll give you a call in 6 months to let you know how I'm doing. I have, in the years I've been doing network marketing, multi-level marketing with a couple of big companies, I have yet to have someone tell me, don't call me back. I have yet to have anybody say to me, don't call me back. So if they don't like what you're doing, they don't like the way it sounds, they don't like the way it looks, they don't like the way it smells, they will say, okay, that'd be fine. So you put them on your list, put them in your calendar, and then 6 months from now, you get their name. Then guess what you got to do when you see their name pop up on the calendar? You got to call them. I promise you, I'll call you in 6 months. I've gotten 2 promotions since we talked. Oh, really? And really, right now, this may be a time for them to take a look at it. They've forgotten you got in. I don't know how many people I showed the business to, and they said, someone was telling me about this. Someone mentioned this to me. I heard of this company somewhere because the person that showed them the business 6 months ago, a year ago, or 2 years ago, never called them back. They never called them back. And now it is a good time. So really, I really honestly want you to have a good follow-up system. Okay, not a good bug me every week system, not a good bug me every day system, not a good bug me, because they said they're not interested right now. So why would you call them back tomorrow and the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day? You say you're calling back in 6 months, you can say 3 months. Most of what I say is when I say 6 months, they say, oh no, don't wait that long. Now, this is a person that just told me they're not interested. And I said, I'll give you a call in 6 months. And you know, they'll tell me, no, don't wait that long. Call me in 3 months. Call me in 3 months. In other words, they're busy right now. That's all. Something came up. They may have a sick mother, a sick brother, a sick sister, something's going on, and they just don't have the time for it right now. So the biggest mistake that most network marketing people have, myself included, is prejudging people. Now, the people that are more likely to get started or at least listen to what you have are business owners. Okay, we're trying to build a big business. This is a strange thing I'm telling you about right now. We're trying to start a big business. We want to build a big business. Okay, now typically people like myself that went to school and learned to get a what? Job. We really never thought about opening up a big business because it's just too much money. A lot of reasons you wouldn't think about opening a big business. So what I like to tell you is do not get discouraged with these guys and girls, okay? They don't know what you're talking about. Many people think that you're trying to get them to go to another what? Job. They don't think that you're trying to get them to start a business. In their brain, I have a job. Why would I go and get another job? It's like you try to sell a vacuum cleaner to someone at their home. You want to knock on the door, they come to the door and you try to sell them a vacuum cleaner. The first thing they say, I have a vacuum cleaner. My vacuum cleaner works good. I have a refrigerator. My refrigerator works good. So it's a lot of things that's going on in the brains of another person. Mr. Thompson has heard all of this over and over and over again. And he's good at overcoming objections. So you got over time, you'll get good at overcoming objections because it's more not what you say, it's the question that you ask. You ask this question and a person is intrigued with the question that you ask more so than you telling them something. So what I'd like you to do is get very, 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 very good at overcoming objections, but then putting them down on your follow-up list, okay? Now, this takes some work. If you never started a business before, this is going to be strange, okay? Because in your mind, if you never started a business before, in your mind, all the money in the cash register is mine. So if you go to somebody's business, they got $2,000 in the cash register, you think that all that money is theirs. That is not. They got to pay people. They got insurance, taxes. They got all kinds of things going on. They got to buy more products. So it's very, very, very important that you understand most people don't have a mindset for business. Okay. Their mindset is how much do you pay per what? Hour. That's what their mindset is set on. How much am I going to get paid per hour? And so it's just a whole different mindset. So when they showed me the business for the first time, in fact, the first person that showed me the business was Darlene, my wife. She was married to someone else then. And she showed me the business. I told her no, because I was busy. I had a job and I didn't understand what she was trying to show me. A couple other people came to me and talked to me about a business. I didn't understand what they were trying to get me to do because I already had a job. I was working 12 hours a day. I didn't have time for anything else. And so I said no. Okay. So thank goodness someone, the security guy at our plant, the plant that I worked at, he just kept coming back and he did a follow-up until one day I took a look at the business. Okay. One day I took a look at it and we went to the top of that business. Okay. So that's what I really want everyone to understand. Now, did everyone, there was a storm down in Florida. No one could go to the presentation. And it was going to be a big show. We had 2 carloads of people ready to go, and we just had to cancel. Two carloads of people ready to go. We just had to cancel because of the storm. Now, they made a change in the compensation plan. How many people know the change they made the compensation plan? Raise your hand. Okay, raise your hand. Let me tell you about the change in the compensation plan. This is unique. The change is when you get a brand new IBO in the business, and that brand new IBO goes out and gets 3 customers, it creates something called a bonus. And that bonus in the past was you might have got paid because you were an RC. If you're an RC, you got a check for $150. If you're RD, you got a check for what? $250. If you're RVP, you got a check for $350. But now the brand new IBO gets a check with how many customers? 3 customers in the system, 7 points. They get qualified. The brand new RC gets a check for $100. $100. Now this is huge. Don't ignore this. The company that I worked for before they did this, this is very, very big because it's not the size of the check. I'm gonna tell you again, it's not the size of the check. The most important thing about that $100 was it works. That it's so important that when a person gets started in the business, they get what? A check. And that check is designed for them to get their 3 customers. You're going to assist them. Okay. They got a check for $100. And guess what they saw? They saw money fast with a check with their name on it. Actually, it's a deposit into a checking account. If they had $800 in their checking account, all of a sudden $900 showed up because our company pays so quickly. And they'll say, oh, it works. And when they go to show the business to someone else, guess what they'll say? I've already got a check. I've already earned some money. Okay. So if before they had to have 5 customers in the system. How many? 5 customers to get a check. That check was for $200. Okay. And some didn't get their 5 customers the first month. I don't understand how that happened. When we first got started, we signed in with Mr. Thomas and we went out and got a lot of customers. Mr. Thomas, he assigned somebody to help us with that process. He assigned Miss Pearl, I believe it was. He assigned Miss Pearl, she worked with Darlene. And those 2 together worked out and we got lots of customers and money started coming back. We started seeing money, okay? It was important that we got a check, okay? So that happens for everybody. So we got to get them qualified. Now, the more people that you get qualified, the faster you get promoted and you get up through those ranks. So you're going to see this $100, this one little change mean a whole lot to your business. So now you'll even be more confident in showing people the business. Instead of getting 5 customers and getting 200, they'll get 3 and get what? 100, 2 more customers, they got another $100. Okay. You say, if you like that 100, get 2 more customers and you get another 100 and they'll do that. And this company will start paying out bonuses like you don't know what. That $100 means a whole lot. And in the old business I was in, we had one of the leaders was Steve Smith. I think he passed away. But he always tell us 2 blue form. I can't remember how you go, Al. A pink form and 2 blue forms equal $100. A pink form and 2. And back then we didn't have the internet, So we actually had to fill out paperwork. I know you guys don't know what that is, but we had to put a pen to and fill out paperwork. And then we had to mail that paperwork in. Now it cost us $590 to get started with that business. But if we sent in a rep that paid $590 to get started and 2 customers with it, a check came back for $100 every time, every time, every time. And with these companies are designed like ACN, it's designed for people like us who know people. As long as we have the skills to be able to get through a warm market, and in Mr. Thomas's case, the unique skills to be able to get into your cold market. Because one day, no, like it or don't like it, you're going to be in your cold market. Like it or don't like it, you're going to be in your cold market. And that's where those skills that you pick up, you're going to be able to use. So let's talk about skills for a minute. What you're doing right now, every day on the call at 12 o'clock this time, 9 o'clock your time, is practicing, 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 practicing. And sometimes what you do in private, you don't get paid for. People see what you do in public. When you get to a convention, you get awards, they see what you do, but you're really being rewarded for what you did in private. When you get to a big convention, when you get somewhere and somebody give you a trophy or award, Academy Award or some Emmy or something like that, you're getting rewarded in public, but you're getting rewarded for what you did in private. Okay, what you did by yourself, what you did in your town, what you did in your city, when you're by yourself, okay? And those people that can work with themselves and by themselves to get something built, those people are gonna be rewarded handsomely in public. I got a video to tell you a little bit about that. So I want you to understand what you're doing now is fine. Use those skills and you'll see. So all right, so this is another group. When I was 16, we took my sisters who were 3 or 4 years younger than we were to this concert in Columbia, South Carolina. This is a new group that came out called the Jackson 5, okay? And there's a little kid right in front, 8 or 9, 10 years old, maybe 10 at the time. And the whole Coliseum was full of people, and they would go from place to place to place to place. And but you know, a lot of times people say, well, Michael just can sing and he can dance, he's got a natural. Everybody, some of this wasn't natural, okay? There's a lot of work in the background. He got rewarded on the stage for what he did in private, okay? You get rewarded for what you did in private. Steph Curry shoots 400 or 500 shots every day. He gets rewarded at the basketball team. He just signed some contract, I think for $60 million or something to play with the Warriors. But he gets rewarded in public, but not for what he does, but that's because of what he does in private. So I want to know, how many presentations are you doing? How many people are you peaking? Is it 5 a day or 10 a day? Just people you know, people you don't know. How many people are you calling that you talked to one time that said no? How many people are you calling that said, call me in a month, call me in 6 months? How many people are you following up with? Because the fortune is in the follow-up. You open the door for somebody and Mr. Thomas is gonna come by and sign them up later on because you never call them back, okay? So let's look at Michael and let's see what he did when he first got started.
How many years had you put in prior to Diana Ross discovering you at that
Before?
point? Mm-hmm. Before she discovered you?
About 2 years.
Had you had a lot of long hours or work, or
yes.
Did it all just kind of fall?
We would come home from school and hit to the instruments.
How many hours a day would you average?
3. People would look in from the window and watch. Like in that area, everybody, they tried to make a group, but a couple of weeks later they would break up. We the main one that stayed together.
Were you, as far as the musical background, was anybody already into music now? I'm not quite clear on that. As far as you said, your brother Jermaine, and they were doing harmony. This thing, what was your father in the beginning? Was he into music at all?
Yes, long time ago, before. Yeah, well, I guess Jackie and my oldest sister, they were born. He had a group called the Falcons, and they traveled around Chicago and Missouri, small places, but they never made a record or anything like that.
How'd you settle on the name? I mean, it's rather evident.
It was 5 of us, and our last name was Jackson, so...
It was very easy, right? You didn't have to go for any far-out name.
Yeah.
Did you pattern your group after anyone in particular at that time? Did you pattern or try to emulate another group at that point?
Well, our main music that we based around was Motown, and we happened to go with that company. Like we had a lot of offers from, other companies, but we decided to go to Motown because we used to do all the Temptation records and a couple of the Supremes, and I would, do the lead, and some James Brown records. That was our main thing.
Who was your personal favorite as a singer when you were starting?
James Brown.
You still dig it, right?
Yeah.
What's been the most difficult part about being successful now? What's been the hardest thing for you to... They always talk about the trappings of success.
Get up early and catch those early flights. That's about it. On tour.
Who picks your material? Because you've had an uncanny...
Singing material? Singing?
Yeah, who picks all your singing material?
We have different producers that pick it, and Barry Gordy is one of our biggest helpers, and he listened to it before it's published, and he does a great job. I think he...
How did you settle on your first hit, I Want You Back?
Well, it really took hard work. We when in the studio, we changed it about 4 different times. Like Jermaine did my part and I did his, and we changed it around, and we just played with it a lot, and it was a hit.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but everybody I know in the beginning, when Motown started to have hit after hit after hit, everybody said, "What's the secret of the Motown sound?" What do you think is...
Well, they have a certain sound that, a lot of companies, they try to get, but I don't know what sound it is, but it's just there. Like they have certain musicians that are really good in Detroit, like they started off there, and they just work hard. It's a certain sound they get.
All right, so what he said was a few years before they got famous, they were coming home from school and they were practicing. Their dad had them practice. It's famous for how much work they put in. The kids would come by and look in the window. So there's this old question here, and I'm gonna just pose for you guys real quick. When you look at TV, and TV is a electronic income reducer, we all know that. When you look at TV, the people on the TV are getting paid. You're not getting paid. The people on the TV are getting paid, okay? And they're getting paid to run a script. Everybody on that TV got a script in front of them. They're getting paid to run a script, to read a script, to study a script, to learn a script. And that's what they're getting paid to do. So they're getting paid to do that, and you're not getting paid nothing. You might be paying $100 a month to watch the TV, but you're not getting paid anything. So the question is, in your neighborhood, who's watching you? When you're getting paid a lot of money, who's watching you? Like someone's watching the TV and they're looking at whoever's on that television show or that television channel. Who's watching you? And what Michael said a while ago was they were practicing. They weren't playing after school. They were practicing. And the kids were coming and looking through the window at them practicing. In fact, some other people around there started some groups together because everybody was starting groups, but they'll stay together for 2 weeks or two or 3 weeks, and then it'll dissipate. So there's some times it shows you that if you practice by yourself for some time, things will start to take off. It's a pattern. It happens to everybody all the time. And remember, all the businesses that were home-based businesses, okay? ACN, when they started, it was a home-based business with the co-founders. I saw the house that they started in, where they showed it at the convention. There's a home-based business. Microsoft, Bill Gates started in a dorm, home-based business. Facebook started in a dorm. Amazon started a home-based business out of Seattle. Hewlett Packard, home-based business out of Palo Alto. These are home-based businesses. I lived in Atwater. I heard somebody say Atwater, California. I lived in Atwater for 5 years. I remember it clearly. Merced, Atwater. So these are home-based businesses. So don't feel bad about working and starting from home. That means you're on track. Okay, with that said, that's about all I have today. Just remember, practice, practice, practice. And they made some big changes in the comp plan for the newest rep. Not you, you're not the newest. The new guys coming in, they're going to be making money really, really quick. And that's going to blow up your bonus checks, okay? It's going to help that to grow. And so that's all I have for the team today. I want to pass the call back over to Mr. Thomas. Thank you all for your time.